Alex wasn't the kind of guy who threw his feelings around lightly. He was calm, confident, the type who didn't chase but still had presence. When he met her, it wasn't instant fireworks. It was a slow burn. Late-night conversations, memes, back and forth, talks about dreams, family, what makes you tick when no one's watching. They laughed a lot. She'd compliment his vibe, his clothes, his ideas. He thought maybe, just maybe, this was different. So after weeks of feeling that tension grow, he finally leaned in, sat her down, told her straight, "I like you. Like this to be more than just friends." She didn't hesitate. Said, "I don't feel that way." It stung, but he took it on the chin. He respected her honesty, even if it knocked the wind out of him a bit. Rejection hurts, but at least it was clear. So he thought. Here's where it got weird. Days passed, and instead of fading away or giving him space to move on, she kept showing up, messaging him, sending him videos, laughing at his stories, dropping lines like, "Your future girlfriend's gonna be so lucky," or "You're honestly the best guy I know." He was stuck in the middle of nowhere, rejected but not released. She didn't want him, but she didn't want to let him go either. He came to me asking, "What the hell is this?" Let's call it what it is, emotional limbo. She enjoyed his presence, his validation, the warmth of knowing someone cared, but she didn't want to give anything back. And he was stuck, trying to decode her mixed signals, caught in the hope that maybe her mind would change. Maybe if he stuck around long enough, she'd wake up and realize he was the one. That's the trap. That in-between space where you're emotionally invested but not emotionally received. It's like trying to walk on wet concrete every step. Just sinks you deeper. But here's the truth. No one tells you. This isn't about you not being good enough. It's about someone else wanting to hold on to the benefits of your presence without giving you the respect of a clear boundary. And if you're not careful, you'll keep showing up for someone who has no intention of ever showing up for you. Isn't rare either. It happens more than you think. And most guys stay too long thinking it's noble to wait, or mature to stay friends, or hopeful to keep the door open. But what they're really doing is bleeding themselves dry for someone who already gave their answer. The first step is to see it for what it is. Not love, not friendship, not connection, just comfort at your expense. It's not your job to stay emotionally available to someone who turned you down. The sooner you realize that, the sooner you can stop playing a game you never agreed to end. Start walking in the direction of something real. Understanding what you're dealing with is half the battle. Most guys stuck in this emotional tug-of-war think they're making progress. They think, well, she's still talking to me. She's still giving me attention. Maybe her feelings are changing. But here's the reality. She's not sending mixed signals because she's secretly into you. She's doing it because she's getting something from you without giving anything in return. That's the truth you have to face head-on. Sometimes it's not malicious. Sometimes she's genuinely confused. She doesn't know what she wants, but she knows she likes how you make her feel. You listen, you validate, you respond. It's reliable. You give her attention and affection without her needing to commit. In her world, that's comfortable, safe, easy. In your world, it's hell. Because you're emotionally investing in someone who isn't investing back. You're hoping she'll come around while she's enjoying the benefits of having you in her orbit without actually choosing you. That's not a relationship. That's a situationship built on one-sided effort. If you step back and really observe the situation, you'll see the pattern. She flirts just enough to keep you engaged, pulls away when it gets serious, reels you back in when she senses you're detaching. It's push-pull behavior. It's not love. It's a cycle of control. You become her emotional crutch there. When she needs you, invisible when she doesn't, and because you're emotionally invested, you keep holding on, thinking the signs mean something more than they actually do. This is where most guys get it wrong. They don't recognize it as a game, not because they're naive, but because they're honest. Real men communicate directly. They don't manipulate. So when they get hit with these hot and cold signals, they assume there must be deeper meaning. Maybe she's shy. Maybe she's afraid of getting hurt. Maybe she just needs time. But what if it's none of that? What if she's just keeping you close enough to feel wanted, but never close enough to commit? You have to be able to step out of your feelings long enough to see the truth. This behavior isn't a test of your patience, it's a test of your self-respect. Are you going to keep dancing around her indecision, or are you going to value your time, your energy, your clarity? Remember, communication without consistency is manipulation. If her words and actions don't line up, you have your answer. Stop making excuses for her confusion. Stop interpreting breadcrumbs as signs of hope. You're not here to be someone's. Maybe think about it like this. If you walk into a store and the clerk keeps showing you products but won't let you buy anything, how long do you stay? Eventually you realize it's a waste of time and you walk out. Because you value clarity over confusion. You deserve the same in your relationships. The moment you recognize the game, you take back control. You stop waiting for signals and start demanding certainty. And once you do that, everything begins to shift in your favor. When you finally recognize that you're stuck in a cycle of confusion, the next move is simple but powerfully pulled back. Not to play games, not to punish her, but to protect your energy. You create distance. Strategic, intentional distance. You stop being the guy who's always there, always replying, always saying yes. You become the man who values his time and doesn't waste it on people who can't decide what they want. Start small. Limit interactions. If you see her often, don't avoid her completely. That just makes it awkward. Instead, keep it cool, keep it short. Don't give her the same emotional access she once had. No more deep conversations, no more jokes to lighten the mood, no more vulnerability. You're not a ghoster, a man who respects himself enough to pull back when respect isn't mutual. Then, stop responding to the little things. Those texts that come out of nowhere with a meme or a "hey stranger," let them sit. You're not being rude. You're being selective. You're showing her that your attention isn't a default setting. It's earned. And when she invites you out, don't drop everything to say yes. Politely decline. Keep your responses simple. Maybe next time. Got something going on? You don't owe her an explanation. She made her decision. When she rejected you, this is you honoring it. By pulling back, you're shifting the entire dynamic. You're no longer orbiting. Around her, you're anchoring yourself. This isn't about making her chase. It's about creating space for clarity, for you and for her. Sometimes that space is what forces people to realize what they've taken for granted. And even if it doesn't bring her back, it brings you back to yourself. That alone makes it worth doing. Stepping back works because it triggers basic psychological truths that people often overlook. The first one is simple. We value what we can't easily have. When you're always available, always replying, always giving your energy freely, you're taken for granted. But when you remove yourself, when you go silent, when you stop feeding, the connection suddenly, your presence becomes noticeable. Your absence becomes powerful. Think about it. When something is always there, people assume it always will be. But once it disappears, it creates a void. That's when they start reflecting. That's when they realize what you brought to the table. It's not because you told them, but because they felt it. This is where scarcity becomes your ally. When your time and attention become rare, they gain value. Just like rare items become more sought after, your energy starts to matter more when it's no longer on demand. That shift alone can flip the entire dynamic. But there's more mystery. When you pull back, you also remove predictability. Before, she knew what to expect. She could text and you'd reply. She could reach out and you'd show up. Now there's silence. Now there's space. She wonders where you went, what you're thinking, why you're different. That curiosity pulls her in more than any romantic text ever could. Cleopatra understood this. 8. She didn't just show up, she made kings wonder. Her power wasn't in chasing it, was in being unforgettable. The same applies to you. You don't chase, you create presence through absence, interest through distance, and power through silence. The goal isn't to manipulate. It's to reset the balance. When you stop giving endlessly, you give her a chance to step forward or fade out. Either way, you win. Because you stop living in confusion and start living with clarity. At some point, she'll reach out. It might be subtle, a random text, a meme, a "Hey, how've you been?" Or it might be direct asking why you've gone quiet, saying, "She misses your energy." This is the moment most guys mess up. They take the bait. They think she finally came around and dive right back in with emotion, vulnerability, and all the attention she once rejected. Don't do that. This is where you hold the frame. When she reaches out, stay calm. Be light, casual. I've been good, just busy with a few things. That's it. No emotional breakdown, no long explanations. Keep your energy tight. Let her feel your distance without rubbing it in. That subtle shift will say more tea.